And the rule of the game, they will sit up there. They will come one by one per our instruction and go like that. As the candidates arrive, you give them a hand of applause. When they're ready to talk, they will take that mic off the hook and stand. We want you to see their whole body so you know who to vote for. Nobody using that thing that so you can't know the man. No woman in the race here. There's a woman in Montserrat. So thank you. Can we begin? Let's begin Duco debates today at Gbarnga. Today, Duco debates is called to order at Gbarnga, Liberia. This is the Bong County 2018 Senatorial by-election beginning here at the administration building. Today, we've got in this hall 4 of the 5 candidates who put up to become the leader of Bong County for the seat left behind by Joa Howard Taylor, current Liberian Vice President. Thank you very much. May we now take the procession into the hall of our candidates today. Thank you. At Bong Senatorial by-election debate 2018 by the LMDI, candidate for Senator Senatorial has agreed to come. Senator, may you proceed. Senatorial has arrived and is proceeding for this debate. Thank you, Fano. He wants to be your leader. Fano Teobila on Duco debates. Fano is arriving. Thank you so much. May you give him a hand of applause. Fano arrives. Thank you, Fano Bila, for coming to Duco debates. Thank you so much. Today, on Duco debates, we invited and graciously got, sorry, we don't have Orlando Zawolo today. Orlando is staying away on excuse that his daughter is graduating. So today, candidate for Senate, Henrik Flomotopa. Thank you. Henrik Flomotopa, candidate for representative. Thank you. Today, we invited and got candidate for Senate on the CDC ticket. I'm J. Marvin Cole. Candidate for Senate. All right. Our man, Prince Toga Colley, candidate for Senate, is here to talk with us. On Duco debates, he's arriving. May we have perfect decorum. We understand Gbarnga County is civilized and will allow us to work in civility. May we rise together for Liberia's national anthem. On Duko the best.
Please sing along.
Thank you. This glory.
Clap for Liberia. Clap for Liberia. We shall all remain standing. We shall all remain standing as we say our individual prayers. Bow your heads and let us pray. Amen. You can have your seats. Thank you very much. This is Ducal Debates. My name is Tony Gibson, and I'm going to introduce to you the moderators that have been arranged for this all prestigious debate here in Gbarnga County, Gbarnga City, 2018 bar election, witnessed by all of you. Today, serving as our moderation board today, we have no other but a son of Gbarnga County. He's a radio talk show host, an outstanding journalist who have won several awards, including the Press Union Prestigious Awards in Human Rights and Development Reporting. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education from the Carter University in Swakoko, Gbarnga County. He was fortunate to travel to the United States of America to the Edward Marum Program for Investigative Journalists. He's no other at the hand clap, Moses Billy, one of the moderators. One of our co-moderators. He works for the LMDI with over 10 years of experience in journalism. He holds a bachelor's degree in mass communication and theology from the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. He is an outstanding journalist with impeccable record in the profession. He's no other, ladies and gentlemen, but Mr. Bongafali Tamba. I'm certain this is what you've been waiting to hear. The lead moderator for today's program, he has over 20 years of journalism experience. Today, whenever you listen to the most famous Tomorrow's People program across Liberia, the moderator on that program is here today to serve as one of the co-moderators. He has a bachelor's in accounting and economics. He also holds a degree in law. He's here today, no other but Tony Gibson. The lead moderator for today, over 20 years of experience in journalism. He is a recipient of the Journalist of the Year award from Press Union of Liberia. Plenty awards from across the world. Today, ladies and gentlemen, he was awarded the prestigious National Endowment for Democracy NED Fellowship at the International Forum for Democratic Studies in Washington, D.C. in 2006. He also worked for Radio France International as one of its senior English correspondents in West Africa. He works for the BBC World Service Trust as one of the team of 8 reporters from Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea covering the trial from Liberian President Charles Taylor before the UN BAC Special Court for Sierra Leone sitting at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. He was the lead moderator of the 2005 debates, presidential and legislative debate, 2017 radio presidential and legislative debate, sponsored by the EC Bilateral Cattle Center and the LMDR respectively. At the moment, he scripts, moderate and produce and present the dialogue. He's no other, ladies and gentlemen, giving a big hand clap, John O'Cully. Thank you, John. And right now, we invite John Cuddy as he gives us the overview of these two called debates today.
Thank you, Tonia. Thanks to Chairman Jerome Kokoyan and team. I think I see Sister Brown there. From the NEC, great team. They are partnering with us to stir up Gbarnga County for this election and to stir up Monserrado. So we are glad to have them, and with a powerful team here. So like Tonia has told you, today we've got candidates for Senate of Gbarnga in this by-election. And we, the LMDR, have said to ourselves, not every time we need to work for ourselves, people got to get our money. We got to find ways to help ourselves. So this debate is solely and purely an initiative of the LMDR, and the work in Gbarnga County generally for elections is in partnership with the NEC. We will do 4 debates, 2 in Gbarnga and 2 in Monserrado. This is the first of 4. The second in this county will sit at Salala for a purpose you may well be aware of. We like to give everybody a chance here. The people of Lower Gbarnga think they have a say too. We will join them at Salala on Thursday, hoping that we have our honorable people to come. We will then leave to Monrovia and do all these dialogue forums that we're doing for the NEC and doing visibility on elections. End up on the 23rd with the first debate there, on the 28th the last debate. We are glad today to have candidate for Senate, Final Tio Blah. Thank you for coming. Candidate for Senate, who did not come, Orlando Zawolo, Orlando K. Zawolo. We got today candidate for Senate, Henrik Flomotopa. Candidate for Senate, J. Marvin Cole, and candidate for Senate, Prince T. Colley. Now, today, do I have audio? Where you, man? Today, this is the way the debate will work. We will give the first 4 minutes to each candidate to do self-introduction and give us their main vision, platform for wanting to be the leader of Gbarnga in this era. And that time will be monitored on this board. I hope we are good. Now here is a timeline. For example, we might give one of the candidates their time to talk, and all of you should look at that time and accuse nobody here. And we'll say, oh, candidate Prince Tukwa, you actually got one second to speak, and we'll click this.
Duko debates. Duko debates.
All right. Now there will be a clicking sound. 10 seconds going. And it will end up with that. Once you hear that, you cannot speak any further. If they keep speaking, Do not elect them. They will not listen to you. And if they keep speaking, we will blast this house with a noise. They will not be heard. They can't speak more than all the speakers. So that's that today. So we're going to now begin. We should have had Superintendent Walker, Esther Walker, to welcome us. I was told she's busy, so she can't come. Today, like I told you, we are generally partnering with the National Elections Commission. And they are represented at their highest level at this debate by Chairman Jerome Kokoya. He will make, if you will, 5 minutes of statement, a message from the NEC for us, and then we proceed. Chairman Kokoya, do call debates and Bond County.
Good afternoon. The candidate, Mr. Qualley and the LMDI family, citizens of the county here, members of the press, on behalf of the commission, we are glad to be here to witness this dialogue. And before I proceed further, I'd just like to thank Mr. Qualley for the wonderful job he's doing, which is just not limited to this kind of thing. I think he's also venturing in academic and other areas. We think that is a positive development. We'd like to thank you. And we are pleased as a commission to be partnered with Mr. Qualley and his LMDI to organize this debate. We believe it is important to give the opportunity to the candidates to dialogue with their people, tell the people what they are made of, what to expect from them, what their respective platforms are. We think that will in turn give you the opportunity to put you in an informed position to make a choice on the 31st of July when we should be going to the polls. So for much, I just like to thank Mr. Qualley and thank the candidates who are here, and thank the citizens of the county that have come to listen to their songs. I don't see any daughter there. To their songs with respect to what they'll be doing for you. We'd expect you to respect the candidates, respect everybody, ask your question if they give you the permission intelligently. This is not time to be rude or otherwise, because this is a great opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Qualley, and thank you to you all. Thank you to the citizens of the county.
Thank you, Chairman Kokoya. Today, as Tonia told us, we've got a team of moderators, Moses Bailey, Bonga Falitamba, Tonia Gibson, and myself, John Colley. So what we want to do, there are ground rules to this game. Rules you must live by. We will therefore call our moderator, Bonga Falitamba, to give you those rules. Thank you, Bonga.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Am I talking to people? Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Okay, today I want to firstly let you know that to every game under the sun, there's rule to the game. And today I'm opportune to be afforded the opportunity to bring to you rules of the sitting of this Ducal debate. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by saying to you we have 7 rules to this debate today. And I want you to be very attentive. I want you to listen with care. Not only listening, but with care. Because if you violate any of these rules, definitely the rules will take care of you. The first, number 1 rule is all phones should be on silent, not only on podium, but in the hall. Are we all together? That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, no profanity. That means no curse word here. No vocal language should be used in here. No disrespect to anyone in here. Rule number 3, no bottle is allowed in here. Well, if you already took in the bottle and it is in you, please, I ask you that you behave well in here. Are we together? Rule number 4, no political banners and slogan should take effect here. Please, you don't bring any political banner in here, and we don't want to hear no political slogans in here. Rule number 5, no clapping. If you somehow already feel it that your candidate is saying something good, all you have to do for us in here, my people, raise your 2 hands above your head like this. You cheer for your candidate. No booing. You don't boo in here. I know that all of you in here are very respectable and people of dignity. And nowhere in the world that people with dignity will boo people. Law number 6, or rule number 6, is that no hate speech. Please, these are the 7 rules of the sitting of the Ducal debate today. I thank you ever so much for listening.
Thank you. Moderator Tonya Gibson will bring you the legal rules to this game.
Thank you, John. So, NEC have declared that the 2018 senatorial by-election will be in line with Article 37 of the 1986 revised Constitution. What does Article 37 says? In the event of a vacancy in the legislature caused by death, resignation, and expulsion, or otherwise, the presiding officer shall within 30 days notify the election commission thereof. The election commission shall not later than 90 days thereafter cause a by-election to be held, provided that where such vacancy occurs within 90 days prior to the holding of general election, the filling of the vacancy shall await the holding of such general election. Consistent with this article, Joel Howard Taylor, Vice President, who was a senator of Gbarnga County, have created a vacancy. So these elections shall be held. But don't get me wrong, the Constitution says after 90 days. When they extended between that time, 90 days is somewhere in the corridor of May, NEC could not proceed unless they received a joint resolution. Joint here means the senators and the representative agreed that this election should go on, hence the constitutional limits. So we will be having this election July 31st, 2018, as clearly written on the banner there. As we go to this election, who may vote in this by-election? Except you committed some violation or crime and you are in prison, or you went crazy. Otherwise, everyone who are registered or who registered during the 2017 election, you will be allowed to participate in this by-election. If you don't have a voter's card, I'm sorry. There was a time when you should have changed. So if you don't have card, don't venture around the pool. You will be arrested by police and sent to jail. Only people will register voter ID cards. Now, The Election Commission law clearly states in section 10.2, offenses in relation to voter registration card. There are some of you who are in the habit of getting 10 to 15 voter cards. You are already in trouble. Don't venture around the pool. Be careful. It's a crime, and you will be dealt with consistent with these laws. Where to vote? Election Commission in her procedure have clearly stated to you all, and I'm going to repeat that. Where you voted in the last election, the 2017 election, go right back there and vote for your senators in these by-elections. Don't forget, plural voting is against the election law, and I want to read that for you verbatim. Any person who votes or attempts to vote more than once at the same election is guilty of an election offense and is punishable by a fine not exceeding $500 or by imprisonment for not less than 6 months. You cannot use more than one voting card in these elections. Leave of absence to vote. It is enshrined in our Constitution and the election law that on election day, it is your right to go and vote. So ask your bosses to give you excuse so you go and vote, and they're not allowed to stop you from voting. It is your civic responsibilities. Bribery. I will spend some time on bribery quickly for you under section 10.4 of the election law. It's a very serious offense. It leads you to imprisonment for up to 5 years, depending on the gravity. Listen to what the law says about bribery. For the purpose of this title, bribery as an election offense is where any of the following act is committed. Act number 1. Offering, and this also goes to the candidates up on the podium. You're not allowed to do the following. You are not allowed to receive the following: offering or cause to be offered, money or anything of value, or benefit or promise to give anything of value with the intent to induce or influence these voters. Any persons, election officer, poll watchers, in connection with an election which is in so doing would tend to affect the election result is bribery. 2, receiving money or any valuable consideration from these candidates. Promise for the purpose of influencing any vote or cancelling or destroying any ballot paper, ballot bags, election writs, a signed register with the intent to defeat the election is bribery. 3, and the last, after the close of the campaign and on the day of the election, anyone who offers money or receive money or valuable consideration for the purpose of influencing the voters to vote or not to vote for a particular candidate is bribery. Then what will the law do to you if you carry on any of the following acts? The law says any election officer, political party, any candidate or the agent of any candidate or any person who does any of these acts is guilty of an election offense and is punishable by a fine or imprisonment for not more than 5 years or both. Please take note. Stirring up unrest, rebellion in lieu of protest after the declaration of results. Section 10.18. Election Commission is saying there are standard rules laid down. When you feel cheated, follow the rule, and I will give that to you. You are not allowed, it's against the law for any of you sitting here, whether the candidate or you, after the election results have been released, you go and start disturbing the peace of the public and saying you are cheated, you refuse to follow the laws laid down, you will be held in connection with an offense against this law, and you will be sent to jail or fine consistent with the gravity of your act. Please follow the rules laid down when you feel cheated. What are the rules? Chapter 6, contested election, filing a complaint. It is clear that any of you who feel cheated for any reason, feel the election commission did not conduct this election impartially, the law says you have to file a formal complaint to the election commission no later than 7 days after the declaration of these results. Election commission will look into the matter and call both parties for investigation after 30 days. Please take note of that. Election commission will take note of what they call harmless error. Harmless error are those errors. For example, some of you say the door will not open on time. They didn't bring the ballot back soon. It was raining, was standing in the rain. I will vote for our candidate. Those things will not make the election commission turn the whole results around. Some of the things that will make them turn it around, bribery is a serious offense on the election law. If it is proven by any of you, the candidate or you, with good evidence, either circumstantial evidence or hard evidence, the election commission, after all of the investigation, could overturn the result in line with bribery. Take note of that. You have the right to go to court. Please follow the procedures. We'd like to thank you. I want to stop here as we continue in this discussion.
Thank you. Debates are normally about the issues that really concern us. And they are about our livelihood. And that's what leaders put up to come, to solve some of the problems. The following issues will be read by Moderator Moses Bailey of our partner radio, Gbarnga. Thank you, Moses.
All right, so there are a lot of training issues in Gbarnga County, like we all know, right? And I'm a journalist. I've also been reporting on a lot of them. So not to waste your time, the Gbarnga Technical College, in my opinion, is the #1 training issue. Do you agree with that? All right. So some years ago, the leadership of the county said that it was important to build a community college here. And that college was estimated to be 4.5 million. But we've used more than 6 million up to now. I mean, we don't know what is going on. That is a training issue. And there was also a scholarship here called the Madame Swakogo Scholarship. Let me see the hands of young people who benefited that scholarship here before. The Land Grant Scholarship also. Let me see the hands of young people who were on it. Today, do you have them? No. Do you have them? No. That is a trending issue. We have poor health delivery system in Gbarnga County. We have a lack of safe drinking water and a lot of issues. These are some of the trending issues in the county. Who here passed through the broad street before coming at the debate? Eh? So you passed there, right? So that road was estimated to be little over 1 million for them to pave that place. And my research tells me that more than 600,000 was paid to the vendor. Look at the road today. Is it finished? No. That's a trending issue. The assets of the county, this administration building where we are sitting, just walk behind and see the maintenance, the road building equipment. Who has seen the road building equipment here? Where is it? All right. It has been parked for more than 2 years. That's a trending issue in Gbarnga County. And we also have this issue of disunity. It's reported that there is disunity amongst our leaders, the local leadership and even the Congress. That is a trending issue. And so as we come here today, we just thought to remind you about some of these things so that you know as we proceed. There are more issues that will be coming up. Thank you so much.
The other one he did not mention is the alleged marginalization of Lower Gbarnga vis-a-vis the desire and a quest for autonomy. They want to go on their own. Some people, all those will be addressed by these people when time comes. But thank you, Moses, for being so clear with us there. Moses Bailey. All right. Now today, we're about to take self-introduction of the candidates up on that podium. We have drawn this order. We are responsible for this order. All right? So like we told you, we are gonna give 4 minutes each to any one of the Senate candidates there. In this by-election, you will say, I'm John Colley, I like to be a journalist. I will do this to do this for you for 4 minutes. And we will clock you in right here like that. And following that sound will
Do God the best. Do God the best.
It's as simple as that. So you get that sound, you stop talking. And so we want to begin. We're going to change the meaning at 4. Now we got 4 minutes set to go. The first man on our list. Unfortunately, no woman wants to be leader here at this time. It looks like. And so we want to call Senatorial. Are you ready, sir?
Sir, yes.
Good. If you are ready, then your time is going from 4 to 0. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Senatorial, and I bring you greetings from my wife and family, our beautiful Ruth Belai, and my children. Other candidates here present for this debate, our citizens and leadership of the Election Commission, and all others part of this debate today. I'm very glad to be here. And my name is Senatorial again. I come from Senatorial district. You know, Senatorial is divided into 2 chiefdoms, the Senatorial chiefdom and the Walapolo chiefdom. My father, the late David Cesar Belai, former county inspector of Bon County, comes from Benota, and my mother comes from Senatorial town in the Senatorial chiefdom. School from Senatorial to Gbarnga up to the University of Liberia, and took further study all over the country. I studied economics at UL and studied disaster management in several countries around the world. And I'm happy to be here and have the passion to serve Bon County. Started from student days, even at the University of Liberia, served as the president for the Bon County students while at the UL. And my passion to serve Bon County is to address issues concerning our young people, taking into consideration youth empowerment and development. And as a member of the UN Women, he for she, also take the issue of gender very key, and addressing the issue of gender issues, looking at the scene, women development and empowerment, and looking at other issues that affect women. And I also take into consideration the issue of the environment, and how we can be able to address and sustain some of the things. And if we can build a resilience of our people, some of the disasters that impact our people, it will reduce and the effect will be less. And another thing we thought to see again is that coming from as a consensus candidate from Lower Bon County that was agreed upon by many of the citizens of Lower Bon, saying, look, this election is key to us. The issue of marginalization of the lower end, and considering how can we sustain the development in the upper end, and we can create new one in Lower Bon. With all of these training issues, considering them, we believe and think that we have a better platform, we have a better way to work it out, and we look at a holistic way in looking at reconciliation and development of our country, not playing blind eye to one side and want to unite like the unity board I sometimes say, where the people there, they don't care for the rest of the people down, when they care for their surrounding. I will stop there for now. I will come back in subsequent time and will provide you additional information when necessary. Thank you so much.
Fano strongly believes in the alleged marginalization of the lower area of Bang. He says he's coming to fight their case. If that resonates with you, if that makes sense, that key vision that he has talked about, it's your choice. July 31, decision day. Next is candidate Orlando Zawolo. He's absent. But I tell you, if you got a case against Orlando, hit him and hit him hard. He was invited. Only don't insult. That's all. So next is candidate for Senate, Henrik Flomo Tokpa. Thank you.
I'm Henrik Flomo Tokpa. I was born in Sinye, educated in Sinye and Carrington. I'm here before you to tell you who I am, and in the end to ask you to vote for me. My work experience, my education experience, as I said, I started my school in Sinye. I have a BSc in Carrington in economics. I have a master in planning and management from the University of Minnesota. I have a master in economics and statistics from Florida State University, and I have a PhD in development study from the Florida State University. I work in many places. I'll just name a few from Liberia. I work at the Ministry of Education as Director of Planning and Management, Assistant Minister of Education for Planning and Research. During my tenure there, I built several schools in Bon County, including SKT, Bonota, Bansu Soloma, and Kayata, just to name a few. I also work as a banker. I also work as an economic advisor to many institutions. I serve on the board of trustees, Liberian LPRC, and also as chairman of the board for NPA. I'm very experienced in doing many things, as you will recognize. My vision for Bon County is to provide educational opportunity for the young people, as I did when I was president at Carrington University for 13 years. Agriculture, I'm a farmer, and I intend to attend to the needs of the farmer in Bon County, principally by providing loan opportunity in negotiating, or be it fertilizer and what have you. As a reconciler, I have done that. That's what I did at Carrington as president. I employ people from various backgrounds, from the United States, from Germany, from Africa, Ghana, Sierra Leone, what have you. And of course, the students we have from diverse backgrounds, including 400 ex-combatants that were enrolled in the regular program, we were able to reconcile among them, and we have very little issue. Later on, the Traditional Council of Liberia invited me as a consultant to help with reconciliation issue amongst them. I'm interested in the health system. My wife is a nurse, a professional nurse with a master's degree in nursing. We have been involved in providing nursing assistance to various clinics. In fact, I built a lot of clinics and schools in Bon County during the 2014 campaign. As an economist, I understand the issue of the country, what's happening, why there's no job, why the rates are going up, how to create. I have the ability to advise our President, His Excellency Joy Manawia, to address some of the issues. As a reconciler, I am prepared to work with the caucus. In fact, 99% of them has endorsed me, and I'm prepared to work with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Flomo Tokpa, Henrik F. Tokpa, lays his vision largely on education and help for you. He actually saved like 3 seconds. And he says he's done well. He has a bunch of degrees. As for Bogda him. and he thinks that he has done something through Cottington and the likes. He understands economics, and with the rate going up, he wants to help George Weah, our president, to deal with that situation. If you believe him, July 31. Thank you. Professor Dr. Henrik F. Tokpa, candidate for Senate. Next, J. Marvin Cole. May you take the podium. Thank you. Onduka Debes, and I'm really happy you are behaving.
Yes.
If you are ready, J. Marvin Cole, candidate for Senate, your vision, your main platform, self-introduction in 4 minutes.
Thank you, fellow citizens of Bong County, for this opportunity. Distinguished candidates, the National Elections Commission. My name is Josiah Marvin Cole, born unto the Union of Mr. and Mr. Joining Cole in Gbarnga Town, Swakoko District. I read government from the bachelor level to the master level, and since we are discussing politics as one of the most experienced, competent, qualified for the office of the Senior Senator of Bong County, I have come to plead with you from Tukpapulu to former district to become your next senator. If you give me the opportunity, I intend to unite and to develop and provide equal opportunity for all. This platform is unarguable because I have demonstrated that as a young man in this county from 73 years old, 1973, since I was born, 45 years old man, I have been able to show by practice and quality my leadership in this county. So if we afford me the opportunity, I will bring you the county you are looking for. I've been able to reconcile people. I've been able to work with people. I have the ability to convince the President of the Republic of Liberia to bring the development Bong County need. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. J. Marvin Cole, actually serving 1 minute 28 seconds of his time. 38 seconds, right? I believe we are grossly divided. We need to reconcile. Because of the kind of work I have done, I am the man to unite you. And then I have a good relationship with George Weah, the Propo man, and I will make him bring development to Bong. I am the choice. Vote for me. If you believe that all these things can happen. July 31, here is J. Marvin Cole. Thank you, Marvin. Our last man today, but not the least, obviously, is our man, Senate candidate for Bong 2018, Prince Toga Colley. Prince, take the...
I'm ready.
If you are ready, candidate for Senate, your 4 minutes are rolling now. Thank you. Go.
All protocol observed. My name is Prince Toga Colley from Senatorial, to be precise, Gbarnga, a small town after Senatorial. I got my education from the Sugar Hill Community School, St. Martin Catholic High School, where I graduated from. I went to the University of Liberia. I got a BSc in General Agriculture. I have come here today to tell you people my 100-day delivery. In 100 days' time, I will furnish the laboratory of the Technical College. If you ask me why, I will bring the laboratory material in there for the technical college. If you ask me why, I have done it for many colleges around through the USAID project. And the college did not benefit because it was incomplete. I have come to tell you people that Bong County will feel itself in full production. In all nations or county, if you can feel yourself, it means you are powerful, you can control the economy. In 3 months' time, the 7 electoral districts will produce vegetable. If you want to ask how, there's a group they call technician. I'm the importer of technician in Liberia. But because the leverage is not given to me, with duty-free, we bring the seeds and sell it very expensive to the people because the taxes are very high. So I'll be a senator. I will make sure I will bring seeds that will give to farmers and plant. I'm not saying it will be free or charge, but you will plant and sell and pay the money back. So it will help you. You take 50% and you give 50% back. So those are the things we'll be doing. You can trust me and vote me and say yes. Don't see and say, oh, the man is small. Don't do that. I'm not small. I'm not a small boy. I have traveled 10 African countries. I got international connections. But you see, you will not know. I have managed more than $2.5 million project with all corruption stigma. You can trust me. Put your trust in me. There's nobody can say Prince has eaten my money. And the thing about corruption, we will address and you will see our platform and you will read it. Thank you very much. You will hear more of that during the campaign time. God bless you people.
Saving actually 1 minute of his time right there. Prince Collie, don't mind me looking like that. Now small man iron jacket. And I go to school too. I've managed a lot of projects. I believe in education. I will furnish the Bong County Technical College within 90 days, 3 months. I believe in agriculture. I'll work with you. Answer free. Huh? Because you're left free in the country. Yeah. Collie is clear. Those are his visions, in short, to want to lead you. And you have all the opportunity to say yes or no. But it's actually on July the 31st. Thank you. Now we got a second part of the debate. Oh, and that second part is the trending issues. We'd like to hear your views on them. Those are the most important things we got to talk about. And we send them to you. You should have them. We'll send them in documents to you. Do you have them? You should have them. We'll send them last night to you. So, but listen, like Moses read, the fate of Bong County Technical College is in the state of dilemma. Swakoko scholarship is in uncertainty. There's poor health here. People are drinking from dirty water. Look at Broad Street, Gbarnga. They talk money, they can't finish it in their mean city. What kind of people are we? They're not even bush. In the town? Then how we do in the bush? I know it was there. The fate of Bong County Social Development Funds. So you have upgraders here. What did you do with them? Back in the order. Then we got the current state of the economy. The exchange rate is a problem. And then we got the general inflation. We're adding the president's call for open citizenship. We want to hear you. So those are the things on these. Each of you will get 10 minutes. 7 minutes? Okay, 7 minutes. On each of the issue, you will get 7 minutes here today. So we are changing our time now to 7 minutes. We go around the table. Mary, go around. Fenogbela. When you reach, you let me know. And then you start hitting the road on the issues. How will you address them?
Especially when it starts with the technical college. I feel that the entire process has not been fair to the people of Gbarnga County. And especially even the people of Lower Gbarnga again. When you look, the people of Lower Gbarnga, you don't even have any technical college. But what the guys start to have done to bring the technical college here, like the moderator Moses Bele said, with estimated cost of 4 or 5 million or so to be able to build that college, they decided to go to Goffer Hill and dig the hole and dump the money in the hole because they didn't want accountability. So they got to go do landscaping and other things and leaving all of the lands around only because they didn't want to do what is just for the people of Gbarnga County. And I think that was very wrong. And it's something that we have a very great concern about, and to be able to follow up and see how that college can live where it's stopped right now in terms of completion and helping. But there are some critical issues we have to look at while thinking about the completion. We have to address those issues about the college, not just leaving the funding going as a waste. We need to also see why it begin a waste and be able to address some of the issues around that. You know, I served as president for the Gbarnga County student at the University of Liberia when I was at UL. And we offered a lot of scholarship. When I took over the Gbarnga University, at that time, they were even indebted to the student. The student were indebted to the university. Several students were thrown out of school. And I said to them, look, if you trust me, you make me your president, I can assure you that in a week or two, we will liquidate your debt and will offer several scholarships. And that was manifested after our election. When we went to the election, we were happy the student took heed into what we said, and they voted all overwhelmingly. Our opponent got 12 votes at the University of Liberia, and they gave us a majority vote. And when we went, we liquidated. In fact, the Manaswako scholarship was even launched under our stewardship as president at the time at the UL. We were able to raise funding from a lot of sources and offer scholarship to over 200 of our deserving students from Gbarnga County across all of the districts. Today, there are some of them who have graduated from the UL and have gone for further studies around the world. Now, when the issue of the health and safe drinking water, when I served in Gbarnga County, based on my experience from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, local government and national government, I worked in the office of the superintendent by then. I used to be the chief spokesperson and the liaison officer between Gbarnga County and the state of Maryland. During the time, we even in the city of Gbarnga here we constructed 32 hand pumps. Today, from 2011 even to now, some of those pumps are still in use in the communities that we constructed them, because we did a durable job, not looking at just temporary thing, because we knew the importance of safe drinking water. And as a disaster expert, my background also brings me to the point of understanding how to address issues, because you know, in disaster management, there is something that says the dollar you spend today, it saves you 7 times that amount when the disaster comes. So if you begin to create and manage the situation when the disaster comes, it will be less. So the issue of healthcare, all of those various issues you see, they all comes in because disaster management is cross-cutting. It takes education, it takes health, security, and any other thing that will protect and keep the peace and the development of the people. So that gives me a very good background and understanding and passion to know how to move about to address some of those issues that are very major concern. And the Social Development Fund, And that is key. In fact, when I left Ministry of Internal Affairs from county level, I was then hired as a consultant at the Ministry of Internal Affairs to rationalize the social and county development funds. It was under our stewardship that we were able to take the two funds, because they were operating separately, to bring them under one umbrella to see how the development can impact the people. But I can tell you, from the region I come from, 1.75 million annually were coming to Gbarnga for development fund. With the one they wasted in the hole up there. You go down to Lower Gbarnga, there is nothing. They didn't educate the children there. They never put no structure there. They took all the money and brought it one side. So we need to be able to balance it. We can't continue to have it going one direction and don't care about the people down there. We have to address the issue. So it's a very great concern. And if you vote for me and make me the senator of Gbarnga, that's something, because I'm an economist, not just a disaster expert. I'm also an economist. So I come with a vast experience from local government to national government, and I also teach disaster management at the Kofi Annan International Institute in Accra, Ghana. So that also gives me a wide range of working with other people, and we have ran several projects, and we're able to make the disaster agency today in Liberia giving the tax, and we brought it into being. So when it comes to understanding about how we can deal with these things and get them going right for the people, we have a background. And the fact that I also work here at the superintendent's office, there were a lot of things we saw. We saw how they went. And when we went at the national level, we still follow it up. And those are things we believe that, seeing how it's them going, we believe that we can correct them. We have the qualification, we have the skills, and we know what to do to address some of those issues. Now, when it comes to poor maintenance, I think administrative-wise, we have to work along with the county superintendent and other cabinets of the county level to see how we can begin to maintain our assets. Because if we don't manage the assets, it also hurts the donors. When I was when with the liaison officer, we brought a drone truck on the sister states relationship to Gbarnga. I feel sad when I see the truck and see. So when the issues are raised by the people as training issues, I know it. I feel it because I know, and we suffer to even get those trucks coming into Liberia, and I know how much money we even spend.
Duke the best. Duke the best.
All right, so good.
All right, so Fennel Black. Politics. And you got to listen, because you will have to question Fennel. Fennel will have to question you. Everybody will question people here and reject today before we leave here. This is a debate. I'm not talking shop here. No. You all got to stand over there and respect each other and ask questions. Nobody will get very all right. Issues. Give the old man the mic, please. Give him the mic. And when you give him the mic, you leave, so his voters can see him good. My man, don't cover that old man before he say I didn't win because I was standing in front of you.
Thank you very much for providing me the opportunity. The issue of the Gbarnga County Technical College and its incompletion is certainly a management issue. When the Gbarnga County Technical College first charter was being made, I was put on the board of trustees. For some reason, my name was removed. I was put on it because they felt that since I built Cuttington without using government money, without using the church money, I will be instrumental in assisting the county in developing that school. Unfortunately, my name was removed from the board. Of course, later on, I invited all of Gbarnga County Technical School students to come to study at the Cuttington Library and take advantage of the science labs. The issue of the college is, as I said, is politics. as it is with everything in Bond County. I will put the lack of development in Bond County due to politics. Between 2005 and 2017, more than $27 million were pumped into Bond County with the Social Development Fund and the County Development Fund. We don't see the result of that simply because our politicians spend more time forcing and fighting among themselves, no county setting, no strategic plan for the county to implement to help the city of Gbarnga, the different districts. Poor health system. Again, I have built wells in many districts in Bond County because I see the need of well safe drinking water. But again, it's not a difficult thing to dig wells using either a borehole or have someone dig it and put a cover there. The cover costs about $1,200. If our legislatures, all the county officials are committed to it, it's not difficult to do that. The fate of the connectivity of Gbarnga and its environment. Again, it's all politics. If there's a master plan that we can sit down, all the caucus along with the superintendent and important people in Bond County, both in Monrovia and here, can sit down and come up with a strategic plan and commit themselves to it, it will work. I used that at Cottington. When Cottington was destroyed in 2002, I put my staff together along with the Alumni Association. We came up with a master plan. I developed it and I presented it, they endorsed it, and I had the responsibility to travel to the United States and other places to raise funds to develop. What's about where money is already coming in? You just have to be committed to the development. Poor maintenance of assets. That's why I did according to manage the assets of that university, the vehicles, the tractors, the road maintenance, whatnot. If I can do it, it can be done. It just needs commitment, maintenance schedule, and you stick to the maintenance schedule, and you stick to the maintenance budget. Do not co-mingle the funds for each one of those budgets. Current state of the economy in terms of inflation. As an economist, I'm very aware of what's happening in this country and what's the cost. I taught money and banking at Cottington University, which also deal with the issue. The reason we have inflation is certainly the oversupply of money, our money. Okay, which has something to do with the next issue of the high rate. Today, the rate is $160 per dollar, per the US dollar. The rate, the money that we pay is the cost of the US dollar. When the supplies are limited, prices go up. We do not have enough US dollar in the country, so we pay more for it, simply. So the strategy is, what can we do as a people to make sure that we have foreign money coming in? One of the best ways is to get involved in agriculture, as we have been advised by the African Development Bank and the World Bank, to help the farmers with cocoa, coffee that we can sell to bring new dollar in. The extractive industry in Liberia, like the mining and the rubber industry, have failed us. Ivory Coast did not depend on that. Ghana did not depend on that. They went into the cocoa and coffee and the agriculture industry. So they don't suffer the kind of inflation we are suffering. Recently, as Minister of Internal Affairs, I was in many forum where $30 million were given to the Liberian government to pump into the agriculture system. It was given to the bank. As to how that money is supposed to be distributed, I'm not on the board of the bank, neither am I advisor to that. But I'm aware of the issues in this country and in Bond County. It can be addressed. If the Ghanaian can address the issue, why can't we? Once upon a time, Ghana considered us as Little America because we had a system. but now they laugh at us. All we need, the kind of people in the legislature to advise the government. The Minister of Finance, who is responsible for the monetary policy in Liberia, that is how much money should be printed and all of that. And the central bank governor, who is responsible for the fiscal policy to determine the rates, that especially the rates that bank borrow money from the central government. So we are knowledgeable of this thing. All boils down to experienced individuals who are knowledgeable of what's going on to advise the power that be our legislatures, our county officials, and our government on how to go. Thank you very much.
We said this. Next is candidate for Senate, J. Marvin Cole.
Fellow citizens, let me remind you about the Bond Technical College. This issue was inherited by bad leadership. Individuals who ran this county social development fund decided to siphon this money into their personal use. When elected as senator, we will go after them. They must account for their action. Poor health system. You know the issue of health in our country, every hospital you go to, more especially government function or sponsor hospitals, almost everything there practically free. You cannot get health free. There must be policies that will be developed. If our citizens can even pay a cent for registration to help them improve the health system in our country. As a matter of fact, I started to work on a bill that says every citizen of the Republic of Liberia that is being taken to the hospital on ambulance, you must be treated before money can be paid. That is one of the bills we want to introduce. We have already done that to help encourage effective health delivery system. We have to stop using lip service. All the major donor fundings that come into this country must be placed in the system and the functionary of government to address all of these issues, not to leave them in the hands of foreigners or donors alone. When you have to pay one consultant $15,000 to manage one project, you will not achieve nothing. We talk about the fate of road connectivity. Those things that have been created, we know that the issue of road is a challenge. That's why our president, His Excellency Ambassador George Manawia, honored our wish and our encouragement and advice to him. We have been able to borrow $1 billion to connect road, and Gbarnga City is of no exception. We're going to make sure that is done. We talk about road maintenance, the maintenance of access. Now, even individuals, when we come to national stage, when we want to get state power, you check all by institutions that we have worked before. What did we do to the access of those institutions before we can talk about protecting the access of government? You must be an example of what you preach. At the City Corporation, I demonstrated that. I went there with an empty building. I brought new energy, new vision to the city of Gbarnga. And I will do more if given the opportunity as senator. We must change Bond County. We must change the ideology. Our issue is not the tangible assets you see. It is intangible problem we have. Our citizens, our minds must be addressed. That when we are taking care of government assets, or even the road you plant on, you should not eat or drink the plastic water and drop the plastic bag on the street or places. Each of you have the responsibility to maintain government and even private assets. We talk about the current state of the economy.
I am not an economist by profession, but let me tell you, it is a structural problem. Since 1970, people who were born in the 70s did not set a good premise for our country. An issue of corruption, and we inherited this problem. That's why you see the inflation in our economy. How do we solve this problem? That is what we need to be addressing. We have to change the current banknotes that were printed by the Unity Party, unaccounted for, no amount were given. That's what we need to do.
Keep it down, please.
If this government honor his wish of Ambassador George Manneh, we are in our distinguished Vice President, Her Excellency Joel Howard Taylor. If we did that, I can tell you we will have a stable economy. I hope that those who are economists could have addressed that the current problem in our country, it is an economic structural problem since 1980 or 90 ago, almost 170 years. The then government that some of them serve in met this rate at 54, and they left it at 35, and they left it at 135. So it's not a problem of the CDC-led government. We are going to correct that. This mess that was created, I am prepared to face it with intelligence, with my lobbying capacity, with all of the 3 branches of government. That's what I'm going to do. So you can only control the rate. The economy should have been able to address that. When they talk about foreign money coming into our country, let me tell you, if you do not know, you cannot account for the money, the banknotes that were being printed, the 500, the 10, they did not give us any amount. That is a challenge we have as a new government. So instead of then addressing that, they robbed the Liberian people by printing money that did not tell us the amount, that is creating inflation in our current rate. We are going to take the money they printed and take it from the market and introduce new currency to stop the inflation. Thank you. God bless you.
No clapping. No clapping. No clapping.
Next, we have to listen to a candidate for Senate, Prince Toga Colley, on the trending issues.
Yes, the first issue is the Born Technical College. You see the Born Technical College, the students leave from this place and go to Coddington to attend lab. Is wrong. If you check all of the colleges in the various counties, it has laboratory, well furnished with laboratory material, well equipped with laboratory material. But if you come to the Born Technical College, it's zero. I know someone going to ask me, why you think you can do it? I can do it. Please do not overlook it. I can do it. I'm not going to call my group name that I work for, because they are private institution. But if you go to LOFA and ask who supplied the laboratory material there, who implemented the project, they will call the name of the group. Go and find out for the group. Say who installed the lab, they will tell you. When he elected me as senator, came in the first 100 days, I will lobby and get loan. I will get loan. You can get loan. When you are senator, you can get loan. I will get loan. Someone is asking why. I'm giving that a reason. I know in their mind they are asking. I will get loan, and I'm not going to ask the people of the college what they want, because I already know what they want. They had a bid there before, and I applied there. I know what they want there. I'm just going to buy take the loan of 50,000 and buy the laboratory material from Europe and bring it there. In 3 months' time, you can trust me for that. The poor health care. I got a friends in France that supply drugs around the world. I'm going to negotiate with the Ministry of Health to test those drugs, to make sure those drugs are good. And I'm going to negotiate with the County Development Fund to say, all right, this drugs is good, and we don't have drugs in CV Doma. Can we take some of the County Development Fund and allocate it for drugs? And I will negotiate with them. They will bring those drugs and supply to Senatorial, CV Doma, and many communities in Gbarnga County. You talk about safe drinking water. If I lie to say I will be putting hand pumps in all of the places, I will be lying. Because there are many things to do. But there are major communities that need hand pumps. We'll be supplying those major communities with hand pumps in 100 days. The road connectivity. You see the maintenance of the material. If you get the yellow machine, you need to connect all of the roads. So what we'll do, we'll make sure there will be mechanics, there will be who work shop, there will be mechanic shop that will maintain all of the yellow machines. That will get people that will use it to work around the counties to connect all of the roads.
The police may be under instruction to put that whole batch outside.
The Gbarnga Social Development Fund.
I'm counting from 1 to 4. 1, 2.
People are not honest. Say you are not honest, you are not satisfied with what you got. The Social Development Fund is meant for the county, enough for someone's pocket. We will make sure it be used for the county. The records are there. You can go and check my record. I have managed that project with my age. I have managed it, and there is clean record. So I know with that, you can trust it. People that know me, my friends that know me, they know what I stand for. We will manage the county development fund in a proper way. It will be used for the internal purpose. Poor maintenance of the county asset. My brother and sisters, my audience, our superintendent. If I'm elected as senator, and I come and see the yellow machine up there and people are not using it, just know that you have a problem with me. Definitely. The machine can be packed for more than 1 month. People are not using it. For what reason? Why? Why you're not using the machine? The machine is intended to be used. People are suffering. The road from Siangala is bad. The road from Solambolo is bad. The road from the Simple Bridge is bad. Then you get the machine packed. Go to Nima County. Go and see the road connection in Nima County. People develop the place. Why? Are we cursed or what? We are greedy. And we are wicked to our very self. I will make sure we will use it. We will use it, the machine. It will be maintained. Because people will be there. Whereby we have a motor proof. So the motor processor will come back. We will not take the machine, the yellow machine to auto spare. Or we will not take the yellow machine to auto link. We will not take the yellow machine to Africa Motor. It will be maintained wherever Labran can do it. The cost will be less. The current state of a Labran economy, my dear audience, the US rate, we can manage it if we don't have reserve. We need to have reserve. We need to manage our natural resources. Let us manage our natural resources. For example, if we man go and have a reserve or 3.5 billion, or reserve 3.5 billion in a world for gold and diamond. If you see the economy is bad, you just take some of that money and put it in the economy. Definitely the US will go down to 70. I'm an agriculturalist. Well, I had to speak economics because I did economics in agricultural economics. Definitely the high exchange rate will not go down if we don't have US coming in this country. And one of it will help to do agriculture. If we can play, we get more food and export food. Definitely the economy will also drop. My Liberian people and my peace and loving people of Gbarnga County, go and sit and think. Do not vote on party line. Do not vote on party slogan. Go and think and say this man is a young man, he got a vision. Go and think. Go and sit and think. Go and rethink and vote Prince equally. July 31st. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. Right on time. Now we got 5 key questions. Those 5 questions will be asked by our man, Moses Bailey, and they will answer anyone. And then the next segment, they will face each other. Each person will ask the most 3 questions to one. That's what it will be. Moses, thank you.
Okay, so amongst the 5 questions, the first one reads, Gbarnga County has a lot of institutions that need finances to operate. We have Senatorial University, we have the Gbarnga County Technical College, we have Phoebe Hospital, we have CB Doma Hospital, we also have Cary. Now, as a senator, how are you going to work with other members of the legislature in attracting finances to these institutions? That's the first question. And each of you, what's the time? All right, so any one of you.
With the issue of the Senatorial University and the college, the technical college, along with the Phoebe Hospital, I don't have enemy. Honorable Bemiko can attest to it. He is my friend. I don't have enemy. So because I don't have enemy, I'm going to lobby with all of them to say this thing is for everyone of all. Gbarnga County is for us. Some Gbarnga County is for us. We need to allocate some money in the budget in order to subsidize the institution. And
thank you so much.
Mr. Moderator, you asked a question that I dealt with at Cottington for 13 years as president. One of the major functions of a university president is fundraising. Likewise, the hospitals, likewise the private institutions like Cary. There are 3 functions of board members for university and such institutions like Phoebe or Cary. You either give, rule number 1, that is you give money from your own pocket. You get, that is you raise money, independent money, and give it to an institution, or you get out of the bowl. You have the responsibility to monitor the activities of the institution and make sure that it is liquid. You cannot depend wholeheartedly on government subsidies. Subsidies are meant to address specific issues. If you make me a senator, I will not rest until I work with the institutions, encourage my colleagues, senators, to work with the institution to show them how you can write proposals to be able to meet some of the specific needs of the institution as I did. You cannot depend 100% on government funding. Yes, you are entitled to subsidies and support from government, but those should be limited and directed to achieve specific aim. For example, if Cary wants to produce a new cassava species and they need money for that specific research, they can write the FAO rather, or any organization, and also apply to government that we have this research program going for 3 or 4 years. We need funding for that. You don't just sit back and depend on government funding.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, distinguished citizens. Finances to operate institutions in Gbarnga County. You listed all of these institutions. I did not hear you talk about the market women. How do we raise money to empower the women? Those are things we should be discussing because it has to affect the ordinary people. Now, what we need to do, as the Chinese proverb says, do not give a man a fish, but teach him how to fish, because once that fish finishes, he's going to have the idea. Now, CARI is a research institution. I believe CARI should start being right on the road with Little Square Swan. They should be able to do more investment. While we have CARI here, we should not be eating toasted waste chicken from out of the country. They should be able to produce, they should be able to raise certain things, to even support their own budgetary processes. That's why we need to encourage them to go to the soil and raise their own money. Your proposals are going to be written, but you must be able to champion the idea for which the institutions were established. You talk about Phoebe Hospital. These institutions need good administrator. Let me tell you, Phoebe Hospital is operating right now $1.2 million budget for national government. But since I've gotten to know myself, going into the hospital, what are the new things that are happening? I think what we need to do is, where money goes, we must be able to hold people accountable for government fundings that they receive and how you operate with this funding. If you enter some of the institutions, you don't even know that they're getting such a money. You talk about the CB Domba. CB Domba is currently being budgeted or allocated in the national budget of 200 some more thousand. We've gone beyond that. They have heard a lot of people talking about you only waste, I mean, why you did not raise money or ask for more budgetary support. It's all about lobbying outside. I have been there, donated few to them. We needed people who will account for government fundings and other international donors that go there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Kennedy Fennock Black wants to talk about that.
Thank you very much. You know, all of the institutions you spoke about, for me as a senator, is to look at them on sectorial level by sectors. There are core functions of each of those institutions. And if you also understand the law that created those institutions, or if it was a private institution in joint partnership with government like the Phoebe Hospital, it's about working from both in and out. One, looking from within the administrative structures. See what is going on. Where did they start from? Where are they? And how do we go forward? Now, it's about also lobbying out there. Like I worked when I left from Gbarnga County, I went to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. You had a National Disaster Relief Commission. And there was no clear law managing the disaster management in our country. So we operated for years. We have to go to lobby. 90% of our operation was from OSA. Government, nothing. And government not giving anything to reduce the disaster, but we receive from the representatives and senators and other people, you will receive over 600 letters. My community have been affected and this have been done, but the issues affecting them. So how do we address it? Not only writing it, but to also follow up sector by sector, see how we can begin to engage partners from within and out, and looking at your, like for example, the CARI as a research institute. They are not to be selling. They're not to be producing on the main market, because they should do research so that people will have the product out there to produce more. So it's about understanding the sector, then you can address it by sector basis. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The next question, question number 2. Please have it quiet. Question number 2. The issue of opening up Liberia's citizenship to non-Negro descent is not up for grab. Our president raised that in the first State of the Nation's address, that we should open up the citizenship of Liberia to people who are not black people, meaning white people from anywhere in the world can come and become citizens of Liberia. Now, as a senator, if such a document or an act or bill is before you, what will be your stance on that as a senator representing the people of Gbarnga County? Will you support it or you will not support it?
I will not speak when the area is silent. I want for people to hear what I want to say. Please.
You support it?
I will support it 100%, but I got condition attached to it.
Okay.
We're going to review it. No women will take part in politics. Let me put it now in a simple way. You will not take part in politics. Simple. You can buy a land, you can invest, but you not take part in politics. You can be a minister, you can run for senatorial election.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. For me, I would do less wise in terms of supporting the citizenship for white men. But like he was saying, there have to be certain portion that strengthen the law. Take for example, in Ivory Coast, white men have citizenship in Ivory Coast. The black man has. But the way it's coordinated in a way that you see domineering blacks moving forth, but it doesn't mean that the white men don't have citizenship. But mind you, if we just open it up and say because we want to create citizenship, because we want people to get land, pay horse, we will be causing the repeat of the apartheid in Liberia. Because currently, if you watch the market, our business community is currently dominated by Caucasians. They got the money. The money is not ready with the ordinary Liberian market people, which you call business people. So if they're controlling it and you're giving citizenship, you don't clear the land, you will run into big trouble. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is a basis to the question before I give my position. The first thing, the bill is being developed, is in process. I don't think the concept people had received, it is not just a concept that a president proffered. There will be criteria, there will be limitations to how the acquisitions of lands are done by white people. But I will support the agenda of this government because I ran on that agenda, and I support every agenda of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Ambassador George Manneh Weah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please have it quiet. Please have it quiet.
In short, the reason that our President, His Excellency George Manneh Weah, proposed this is based on his traveling experience and living in other countries and seeing the benefit that foreigners bring in terms of job creation, in terms of new initiative, new idea to the country. Yes, I support it, of course, with a condition. And that condition could be X number of years of living here, maybe 10 to 15 years, you demonstrate that you are invested in Liberia, you have employed in Liberia, you have created jobs, then they can make you a resident. After a resident, then you can be considered a citizen, provided you pass a test, like it is in other countries. So to blanketly reject it, I think it would be an error. I think it's a good idea. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, and most of our African countries have dual citizenship. They accept white people.
Conclude, please.
I heard one of my friends. We got into the same discussion. I asked him, "Would you like white people to become citizens?" And he told me, he said, "Oh, my dear body." I said, "Why?" He said, "The way those people suffer, our people in slavery, they beat them, they did that." I said, "But slavery is over. This was in 1700, 1800. Things have changed. The economy of the country has changed. White people came here during the the Omei and died here. If they want to become citizens, you reject that?"
Okay. Thank you so much. We should be happy, right? Because all of our people who will be senators say they support it, but with conditions, right? And you are right here, you are hearing those conditions that they are coming forward. The number 3 question: what will you do differently to ensure unity amongst members of the Gbarnga County Legislative Caucus and the leadership of the county? Because this has been the major problem affecting the development of the county. Reported, There's unity amongst leaders. Now, if you are elected as a senator, what differently will you do to ensure that unity is amongst the leadership?
Moderator, please allow me to add that my statement with regards to fundraising for this entity does not offer the government the neglect the institution in terms of financing. What I was saying, they should not wholeheartedly depend on government financing in order to operate.
Okay.
They are entitled to that.
Yeah. This one now is about unity.
With regards to that, as I said earlier in my expose, in Zointa, many of the new legislators stood up there and pledged their support to me. They said, Dr. Tokpa, you signed many of us degrees. You signed many of our children degrees. We respect you. We support you to come to help us settle a dispute among us. There's no elders, so to speak, like in Nimba or in Cape Mount or elsewhere that had the command, the charisma, and the ability to call the other colleagues and say, look, these are issues affecting our country. Let us sit down. If it is with me, I will spend the resources to bring us together to settle the issues. I have settled such issue in Sano as Minister of Internal Affairs. I have the experience to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We will have candidate Marvin Cole to now respond to the question. What will you do differently to ensure unity amongst the leadership of the country?
Thank you very much. Eldership is not age. It's a willingness to do that which is right. And I am prepared that in that caucus, all of you, the citizens, have the responsibility to make sure unity exists among the caucus. When you see majority of the caucus members lining behind somebody, there is a saying that goes, show me your friend, I will tell you who you are. Those people must be willing to stop the lip-service reconciliation when they are using individuals to abuse, to insult state leaders, and they pretend if to say they don't know. Caucus members must be accountable for the people they use to disrespect leadership. That's why I will make sure we speak truth to each other so that we can stop this. Okay. And you, the citizen, must help us. Don't allow no caucus member to use you. And corruption must end.
Okay. All right, the next person. Let's take candidate Fenok Belai.
Thank you very much. In terms of unity in the caucus.
Hey! Hello, please have a quiet. Let's listen to everybody.
In terms of unity in the caucus, we can help to see how we unify and build a stronger team together. If you watch the current trend, most of the noise in county right now is just political tension. People having different candidates and going after, and right after the dust will settle, and we have to put back the pieces together to move forward. Now, if you look at the current caucus, one thing for me, like I told people, this entire election, as a consensus candidate for Lower Gbarnga County, for me, firstly, I don't worry on the issue of the endorsement around here, because we saw endorsement when it did to Joseph Boakai. So we not worry about endorsement.
The unity in the
country. So people can endorse, but what we can do is to keep the unity, is to see that when you take, for example, our Prince Moy are key from Gbarnga Metallist. We funded student council government, our standard bearer, you are vice standard bearer, later to our NIE student government. We got good relationship. Even at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, I had an unfortunate situation under the rule of Minister Tokpa. And I can tell you, during that time, it was Prince who saved me.
So how will you use all that to unite them when you are senator now?
No, I'm just telling you, when you work in terms of how you bring unity, if you have good relationship, that's the first thing you need to do. It's not about the endorsement, it's about the relationship first.
Okay.
Yala And I came from Gbarnga Methodist. We have good relationship. Up to today, we got things we're doing together. Kafia was my Secretary General when I was the president for the Bongande student at the University of Liberia. I had a relationship with him.
Okay.
So
now you're not in student politics,
Kole,
in national politics.
Kole is also a representative from my area. He's my brother. So all of them, at the end of the day, we can sit together and look at Bongande as a common denominator to resolve some of the conflict. But like I told you, most of the conflict you see right now, they are all just political tensions that will be resolved right after the 31st. And when there's a winner, people will be getting back, and you'll see the country coming back to move together.
Okay, thank you so much.
I believe I have a choir. I will not speak when the post is talking. I'm a peaceful man. I have been peaceful. I will remain peaceful. All of my friends can relate to it. The first time Honorable Chuan Hill took office, we met at the boulevard. I shook a hand, we hugged. I said, congratulations, Honorable, and we started laughing about it. I met Honorable Papa Kole, we hugged, and I helped him during the process of calling people when they had a program, and we laughed about it. After the program, I met Honorable Cole at the Capitol building, we hugged, and we joked.
Okay. Conclude.
Please have a quiet. I will not speak on the
Please have a quiet. Please have a quiet. Please have a quiet. Yeah, conclude in the next 20 seconds.
The people are disturbing. People listening, so you have to tell people to hold on. Honorable Maviko get a test to A. We met at the Capitol building and we hug. There are also young people in the legislators, and I'm a young man. So if you vote me to reconcile with them, it's very simple.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please listen to our fourth question. The fourth question is very important for every one of us here in Bong County, right? The fourth question. There is this growing agitation in Bong County that the lower part of the county is underdeveloped, and that all of the development projects are here in the upper end. And so the Senator Henry Yala has proffered this bill pushing for an autonomy or creating a county status in the lower part of the county. And as a mass that one of you here will be elected on the 31st of July, and you will be sitting side by side Senator Yala if this bill comes on the Senate floor. Where do you stand? Do you agree that Bong County should be divided?
I believe in unity, and I stand for one Bong County.
You stand for one Bong County?
One Bong County, because we speak Pele. If you go to Senatorial, it's Pele. If you come to Gbarnga, it's Pele.
Okay.
So what the essence are you dividing the county?
All right.
We speak one dialect.
We speak one. Thank you. We speak one dialect, so there is no need to divide the county. One Bong County, Prince Colley. Our next candidate. All right, candidate, let's hear you.
Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to let you know that I 100% stand for the creation of Lower Bong as a county.
Why?
And there are several reasons and factors why. Firstly, the current election we're going to, all of the colleagues here are all qualified to be senator, but refuse to have a balance of power, that the people in Lower Bong should not be represented. It's only them.
But there's a just one Bong.
That one. Two, when you look at Lower Bong right now, there are issues of developmental concerns that we must address. When I told you, create new things in Lower Bong, and you can sustain what you got in Upper Bong. Because some of the things you got in Upper Bong, like even they were talking about the technical college that they put in the hole, Lower Bong don't have none. So we need some there too. So for me, I stand for it to be counted so you can address some of the things. Because the only way we'll do it, when they begin to hold their own things and address it, then they will see some of their problem. There is nothing called Pele people dividing. Center, the player Nunkwe coming from the former vice president for United Party, that whole play, that Gibi territory was Bong County.
Okay.
They took it from there, they added to Marshall to make my Gibi. Today, it not made no difference between the Pele people over there and the Pele people on this side. So that one is not any issue.
So he said 100%. He
So-
support it.
So I stand 100% when I talk about Lower Bon County being a county.
Okay.
I there with it, and
All
I
right.
there with my heart.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you, our man. Thank you. He said 100% he supported. Who's the next person? Why the two people don't want? I'll call one person. All right. Okay, the woman coming. Let's have a quiet. Let's hear that the Toba's position on the issue.
Hello. If I'm not considered an elders, I think I'm older than all of them. I don't know the definition of the elders here. If I'm not their son, then I must be somewhat their father. I remember Honorable Cole when he was vying for the city mayor position, coming to me in my office as Minister of Internal Affairs and say that I told what you are our father. I want you to intervene. I remember very well when Fena was coming to me to sign his contract to work as in the disaster area. He said the same thing. So if you want to reject me today, well, so be it.
All right, let's hear you. Let's hear you on the bunker.
Back to the question.
You know the other man. You know Prince too. All right, go ahead.
Back to the question.
Hey, please have a quiet.
For me, the question of dividing bond is not a yes or no answer. Because everything that is affecting bond is political. I think the decision to divide bond is purely political and not based on any empirical study. I have not been opportune to see the document that argue that Bond County should be divided. Now, have I attended any of the meeting? I don't know when they have the meeting. I have not been invited to make the kind of decision. I'm an intellectual, and you must appeal to my intellect for such a thing.
Hey, please have a quiet.
I don't quite understand where is the boundary of Bond County that they are talking about. The boundary for Bond County, I grew up knowing that Lower Bond starts from Gulf Farm. That means Cuttington, Swakogo, Phoebe, Cary, they are all part of Lower Bond. That's how I grew up knowing. So if those who are proponents of the bill will reject that sign and give it to Upper Bond, well, I say Upper Bond, you are lucky.
So what's your position?
My position is, if this is a political decision on their part, I will not reject it.
So you agree?
If this is a political decision, I will not reject it. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Hey. Have a quiet. We can be put somebody on, sir. Hello. I will just point at you and the police will put you on, sir. I see some of you who are causing noise. And I will just point at you, the police will put you on, sir.
Hello. During my intro, I said to you, since this is politics, I am the most competent, qualified, and experienced person for this job. Dad had just said, if this is a political decision, he will reject the idea of the people who have endorsed him. So that it tells you.
Say your own. Hello. Hey. Hello.
Dad will come back waving your hands, and when I heard all of you waving your hands, and when Dr. Heron Tokba said, if this is a political decision on their part, that was the statement I made. And let me say to you again, I said, since this is a politics, I am the most experienced person for this job. As a politician, something that is not before me that has to do with law, you cannot speak to something that is not before you when it has a legal basis.
Hey, hey!
So, knowing my stance, and as members of the legislature, I cannot, the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia said, Article 1, all power inherent in the people, and all laws that should be made should be meant for the governance and the happiness of the people when they are coexisting.
We need to take the next person, so please wrap up.
So if any law that tend to divide our people, I, Josiah Marvin Cole, will not support anything that is not constitutional.
Prince Kwali, please come. Can the Prince Kwali? Let's see. Oh, you finish? Okay, they finish. All right. So the last question. Hello. Please listen to the last question. Now, if you are elected, how tolerant will you be towards your critics? Because in time past, people feel that certain leaders have vehemently refused or rejected criticism. When you criticize them, they tend to hate you. They tend to marginalize you. So if you are elected as a senator, what will be your position on criticism? How will you handle those who criticize you?
Hello. We'll soon be leaving. We hope that you'll give us time because the question, we are not getting it clear. If I understood you, how tolerant
are you towards your critics?
That's what I told you. My platform speaks to 3 facts: unity, development, equal opportunity. It has been evidenced in my office. Those who criticize, those who spoke against me, I have implored them, and I will go beyond that to unite the people of Gbarnga County. Now, when Dr. Heron Tokpa was nominated as Minister of Internal Affairs, coming from 2014 beta elections, I was the one who he spoke to navigate between he and the current Vice President for him to be confirmed. A principal contender. I took a CV, I spoke to Senator, and he was confirmed. And I will do more for him when I'm Senator of Gbarnga County.
All right, so you are tolerant. The next person, Kennedy Federal, how tolerant are you towards criticism? Hello? Hello?
Thank you very much. And I love that question in terms of being tolerant. And I can tell you for the records, Fenok Bala, as a child, grew up in Gbarnga County. From the day he started here up to present, the records are showing, they are clear on the walls. There is nobody here will tell you that they in Fenok, they ever saw Fenok fighting anywhere here, or even insulting. The records are not there, because I always try to be tolerant with people, and I will be tolerant with anybody. Even if you watch the current crisis or the election process, I started my quest from January 1 of this year. There is no week that I enter Gbarnga County or I go to talk to people. If you go on Facebook, you will not see, even on my very page, you will not even see my election business being posted by me, because I try to manage and not allow conflict to arise. Because as a disaster manager, one of those things we are taught with is to manage and avoid chaos. So managing situation, rest assured, you can count on me for that.
You'll be tolerant to those who will criticize you, right? Yes, let's get Kennedy Prince Kwali. Are you tolerant? You going to get vexed and hate people when they criticize you?
I said it, I'm saying it again. I have been peaceful. I will always remain peaceful. Most of my friends can relate to them. You can ask, most of the guys are running campaign for Marvin Cole, you can ask them, they are all my friends. We all sit and talk. We all see and eat together. They are all my friends. I don't have enemy. My only enemy is the devil.
All right. So you'll be tolerant. Let's hear our last candidate, Dr. Togba. Let's hear how tolerant you are towards those who criticize you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. This is a great question because most of my time as a university president, I spent time in tolerating people of different culture, students of different culture, faculty and staff of different culture, and settling issues among them. My honorable representative here, I think what he's talking about, he may have been thinking about it, but I don't think he really mean that he intervened in that way. Because right after the election, when I took the case to court and I won, they told me I should go back and have re-election. And I made a decision that based on the information on me, undercover security told me that there may be fighting or bloodshed. I decided that I don't want the blood of Gbarnga County citizens to be on my hands. And I decided, and I told the election commission, the money you want to use for another election, use it for our students' school fees or WIAC or something like that. Immediately after that, I walked to my senator, Senator Joe Howard Taylor, and then into her office. She allowed me, we sat down, I congratulated her. And I pledged my support to her. One more. Right after this election, I have the text in my phone for public consumption. I was in the States because I wasn't here when the final counting. I text her, she's an ardent texter on WhatsApp. I text her and she congratulating her, and she replied me, "Thank you very much for your support. Greetings to your wife," because I had gone for my wife's surgery. I'm a compromiser, I'm a negotiator, I have training in that, and I have practical experience in that. Settling issues with boundary disputes in Cape Mount, Bombi and Bapolu, Grand Jida and River G. I am a negotiator, I am a problem solver. I would not have problem putting my colleagues together to discuss issues relevant that are affecting Gbarnga County progress. I'm prepared to do that. I'm sure they will respect me if I do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So I will retire and go back to the chief moderator. Thank you so much.
All right, so you must obey so that you can really enjoy this debate. This is the sweetest part coming. And this part is so tempting. Watch, sit down and watch the people argue. Duco debates at Gbarnga today. Gbarnga County Senatorial by-elections. 4 candidates debating their issues. The candidates are Fainon Blah, Fainon Tio Blah. The other man who did not come, Orlando Zawolo. Candidate for Senate Henry F. Tokwa is here. Candidate for Senate Marvin J. Marvin Ko is here. Candidate for Senate Prince Toga Colley. So to call the best, taking a break to be back. We are back with these 4 candidates. Fainon Blah, Henry Tokwa, Marvin Cole, and Prince Toga. Collie, give them a big hand of applause. A big one. Now, we are going to be in charge. You will take the podium. If you got question for one person, you say, I got question, you said does. Or you did not talk about this, we forgot to talk this, I want you to answer question on this. The only thing you can do is to insult. Yeah, fair enough to who?
Thank you very much.
Who do you want to talk to?
I have 2 questions for Honorable Marvin Cole.
And you can only ask again 2 questions to each person.
And
you are limited to 2.
I have 1 question for Dr. Tokba and 1 question for, so maybe I can reduce it 1-1?
Do 1-1. That's fine.
Thank you.
All right, 1 to each. First line, black to who?
My question goes to Honorable Marvin Cole.
Marvin Cole, come on.
And
take the podium with the man. Take the podium with the man. Face each other. And do call debates. Thank you.
My question to Honorable Marvin Cole comes on the caption of the issue of unity among lawmakers. Unity among lawmakers. And I come to the point to ask you, Honorable Cole, regarding the current situation in our country concerning the dismissal of our local leaders, which the Minister of Internal Affairs, because I recall some time back, we both appeared on the Truth FM in Monrovia. And during that discussion, I brought up the issue of our chiefs being dismissed when the Vice President openly said in a very administrative building that we should form a one-party state and threaten if you don't join CDC, you'll be fired. And let us date May 30. April 30 was given on May 30 to chiefs, already dismissing them. Thereafter, I was informed by you that my issue was the rumors, there was no truth in it. And when we left from there, I provided some documents and later additional came. The caucus of Bong took a decision asking the people to be reinstated when I filed as the president.
What's your point?
My point is, when the caucus got together in terms of reinstating our chiefs, how do you reconcile the issue of unity among your colleagues, even when there's a resolution signed, the majority signed, and you are out and our people being dismissed, and even up to today, President Weah said they should reinstate the people, the Vice President, the Superintendent, including you, are still going on and embarrassing our chiefs.
Thank you. Marvin Cole, your answer. On to call the best, black to Marvin Cole.
Thank you very much. That is the reason we continue to reiterate that you need experienced person like me to lead this county, to know the constitutionality of these issues. Lawmakers do not have appointing and dismissal power in the executive. So I do not appoint, I do not dismiss. So I cannot be talking about the issue of dismissal and hiring. More besides, all of the caucus members who wrote resolution, it was on the basis that I did not sign because they acted in constitutional error. The President of the Republic of Liberia, the Constitution gave him the authority to appoint and dismiss chiefs. So for caucus members to allocate to themselves undue authority, I think they acted in error, and it is misleading that the President has ordered the reinstatement of chiefs. For any of you to think that President Weah will instruct the superintendent to reinstate chiefs, can Marvin Cole stop that? So we need to be honest when we speak to you. So it is not in my purview to speak on dismissal and hiring of chiefs.
Thank you, Marvin Cole. Marvin, do you have a question for him?
Excuse me.
Who you want to talk to next?
Dr. Tokpa.
Professor Tokpa? Black to you, yes. Sit down until you're ready. Professor Tokpa, face black. On Duca the best. Thank you. Black to Henry Tokpa.
Thank you, Dam.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Dama.
It's all right.
My question to you, Dr. Tokpa, comes to the issue of the last question I was posed regarding the issue of intolerance and after the electioneering process. And my question comes from a concern and something that I was affected by.
You got to be brief now.
Yeah. No, I need to just give a little premise.
Yes, long premise not allowed.
Now, when people take part in electioneering processes and it's over to work together, can you promise us again this time, if the people think that they trust that you're able to handle this issue that you're talking about tolerance? I recall when we took part in electioneering processes, and even when some of us were not actively involved because we supported Kennedy Rennie Jackson, and you were then appointed as Internal Affairs Minister, you decided to deprive us from working because we participated with candidates that you ran in election, even he was your brother-in-law, and you contested, you decided not to agree. You fought each other in election, but you chose to come back and affect the ordinary people. And I worked at the Internal Affairs for 6 months with all contract from the UNDP that was paying me because of that issue. And Honorable Moy and the Minister of Internal Affairs currently were the one who stood and said no to it. And I was then, but finally you signed my contract after 6 months. We're all feeding my family, working on attention in the UN, everybody asking.
Did you get back pay? Did you get back pay?
No, I had to get back pay because I was in the system.
Did you get it?
But the trauma.
Did you get back pay?
No, I was paid.
Did you get back pay?
Yes, indeed.
Good. Professor Tokpa, did you hide the man because of politics for your brother-in-law?
Feno, you are so ungrateful that I don't really know how to react to you. Rennie Jackson is my brother-in-law. After that election, recently, Rennie Jackson came to me, he along with all his sisters, and apologized to me. Bent down under my feet and apologized for all the insult you people who were behind him, including himself, ran up to his mother, that is his older sister. We forgave you because of the kind of heart that we have.
Did you deny him for 6 months? That's the question.
He will
Please
never
answer that.
He will never deny for 6 months. The contract go through processes before it lands on the Minister of Internal Affairs desk. And I allow it to go through those processes. In fact, I did not know that he was employed.
Oh, he wanted to bypass the system.
Say that?
He wanted to bypass the system.
Apparently. Because the only time I got
listen to the woman, please.
The only time when he came to me asking me, begging me to sign his contract, and I told him this parable. I said, no matter how high the mighty eagle may fly, you gotta come down to drink muddy water.
Thank you, Prof.
Behind the superintendent and the deputy minister of internal affairs, they hid behind her and insulted my wife, insulted myself, and slanderous remark. I told him, I forgave you. I will sign your paper.
Okay, Prof, you answered the question. Thank you. Thank you. Graciously, thank you. Who your next question is from?
No.
Who?
No, thank you. Because the next question was from Marvin Cole, but he said I should only get one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask
No.
question.
Sorry.
But later,
goodbye.
Thank you.
All right. Who has a question? Marvin Cole. Who do you want to bite? Marvin Cole, you got 2 questions. 2 questions to other 2 people or 1.
Yeah, I have 2 questions for Dr.
Are you hearing this, man? Because you're making noise. This is the moment you're really supposed to listen. Because they are digging on each other. Yes.
I have 2 questions for
Marvin Cole to Professor Henrik Tokpa. Thank you.
Dr. Henrik Tokpa, my first question is, I believe you are a father. You like to see your girls, children grow up and your boys in a reputable manner. Being an academician over Cottonton University for over 13 years, when you were retired
Thank you.
as president of Cottonton University, do you regret building a nightclub?
Absolutely not.
Next question.
If you want me to explain that, let me.
Hey! Come on. Prof, you want to say something?
I think.
Can you hear him? You are noisy, Gbarnga.
I think in your mind, nightclubs are for people who are hopeless. Hotels are for people who do prostitution. That means even the LMDI who come here to speak in the hotel, to sleep in a hotel, to go there to have sexual intercourse with people. Nightclubs are not like that. Hotels are not like that. At Cottonton, I was managing an institution that ran schools from pre-kindergarten to the master's degree. It was going to be a conflict of interest.
My question has been answered, so I want to
Thank you. You answered him. Thank you. He's right. You said absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely
so
not.
You answer him.
It created jobs, and that's why you should
Thank you,
applaud me
sir.
for that. Thank you.
The issue was, one more. The issue was, do you regret building nightclub?
And he said no.
My second question.
Your second question.
Dr. Henrik Tokpa.
Hey! Yeah, next.
I know as a strong economist, from your background, from your experience, you have said if elected as senator, you will bring new dynamism to the Bond Legislative Caucus and the leadership of Bond. And I know you strongly believe in the doctrine of accountability. Honor your watch as president of Cottonton University, the GAC, General Auditing Commission of the Republic of Liberia, did audit the institution you presided over as president from 2011 up to 2014. And that institution, I believe $508,000 United States dollars was unaccounted for. How do you feel since your departure from Cottonton University? You could not have accounted for over $508,000 taxpayer money. How do you feel?
First, do you accept that money went under your administration?
He is so uninformed that
Okay.
it is pathetic. Mr. Moderator, I have with me the findings of the committee responsible to review the audit. You can read for yourself. Cottonton is absolutely exonerated from anything.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Thank you. It's done. Thank you. Yeah, questions over.
I raised audit issue.
Yeah, you
I
get.
cannot raise committee issue.
Okay.
Tell us whether there was an audit conducted and Cottonton was indicted. That is the question I asked.
Is that an audit? No, no. Don't go there. Yeah, this is an audit. This is an audit. But this is an audit. That's an audit. Yeah, but well, this you see here, Prophet Togba.
Yes.
Was there an audit?
There was an audit.
Good.
And the report of the audit was sent over to the legislature.
Good.
And the legislature set up a committee and examined the audit report. If it finds reasons to send it to LACC, it does that.
So this is
the report emanating from the legislative committee that found no fault. You can read the last recommendation.
So this is
No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
if you don't listen. Now, David Cole, do you agree with this?
No, Pete, no.
Why not?
Please listen.
You are not listening. Why not?
I do not agree to the answer given by Dr. Heron Tokpa because I raised legal issue. The General Auditing Commission that has a statutory mandate to audit where government fundings go, subsidies. And I said, in 5 minutes, I'm going to produce an audit report. Cottington were indicted $508,000 United States dollars. Now to come with a committee report from the Senate, I do not agree to it.
Thank you.
Have it quiet, please.
Hey, police, get the man back. Let him go back. This man, get him back. Put that man outside. Now, I'm going to spot you and you will be put outside.
Honorable Marvin Cole, Honorable Toba, we need your attention, please.
You are next. You make noise here again. You quiet. All right. Thank you. Hello. You must understand that debates are about picking on each other. So Dr. Togba said this is his report. Marvin Cole said he agreed with it. The debate line is there. Let Marvin Cole prove his case anywhere. That's how it is. Right? That's how it goes. So thank you, both of you. Now, that's all right. No question? Who got question for Marvin Cole? Prof? You got question for Marvin? You got question for Marvin Cole? You got question for Marvin Cole? Or anybody?
Mr. Cole has said that this is a legal issue.
Marvin Cole, come. The owner here for you.
He will pursue a legal course.
Can you hear him? Because you are unruly, you cannot behave. The old man is talking, you say no. How will you hear them? You can go later making noise all over Gbarnga. For here, keep it quiet. These people, some of them are lying to you. Some of them are saying truth. That's why you must digest. Prof, your question, please.
You know, Mr. Cole, Representative Cole has said that he asked a legal question, and I urge him to take it to court.
There you go.
Saying it's a legal issue, he should take it to court, and our lawyers will explain. Because the process of auditing is that after the general audit submits its document, he can do anything.
I thought that was over. I'm asking for your question to him now.
Yes.
There's a follow-up to that. There's a follow-up.
Your question now. Yes, sir.
Okay. Representative Cole, can you explain to me what is the process after auditing that leads to prosecution?
Good.
The only branch of government that has prosecutorial power is the executive through the Ministry of Justice. The Anti-Corruption Commission function is when audits are conducted, those fundings like Superintendent Selena Mape posting, fundings were being sent to the auditing, to the Anti-Corruption Commission. All of you here, when the commission investigates and feels that there were procedural errors, either they will recommend to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution. But the legislature has oversight responsibility, lawmaking, and representation. The PAC committee that investigated, they are there to look at all this report and follow the process and provide oversight. They are not to tell you are exonerated. If the legislature will do the job of the executive, who does the job of the legislature? That is the procedure.
Bro, you got one more? Yeah, you're entitled to 2 questions. You got one more question?
I don't have a question for you.
Good, thank you. Honorable Marvin Cole?
Yes, sir.
Just go across there the same way you were talking. They're bringing the mic to you, sir. Marvin Cole, you want to talk to?
Yes.
Really? And you will call your name. No blind man being here. All right, so come closer so you can feel the man. Very good. Where my camera? Okay. Give him the mic. Take out the mic, give it to the man. Marvin, just stand right there, that's all, yeah? Thank you. Your question, we're taking 10 people.
Okay. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate the Honorable Mayor for his deliberation. My name is Mohammed A. Kone, and I want to know, the Honorable Mayor told us during his endeavors for the representative seat in our county, in our district.
You gotta speak loud.
He told us that if elected as representative in Jokola district, the Gbarnga Technical College, the hospital for the motorcyclists, and Gbarnga going to be electrified by the solar panel before the July 26th. Can our representative talk to her on that as we stood under the sun on the October 10th to vote for him? Thank you.
Thank you, Marvin.
Hello. Thank you very much for that splendid question. And as a reminder, Honorable John Colley, I told you I'm going to provide a copy of the audit report. This is it.
Let me have it. Thank you.
You asked concerning the electrification that I spoke about. As a matter of fact, the investor arrives in the country on Sunday to do the presentation to the President of Liberia of 1,000 solar panel lights that I spoke about. Hello? You can trust? Hello?
Go ahead.
You can trust my word. What I say, I will do it, and nobody will stop it, and I will show it to you. That was what I said. And I promised to stand by the motorcyclists to build them a facility that will treat them. We are 6 months in the government, gave our time, we will do it. We told them we'll do it, we are going to do it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any woman? Where are the women? Where are the women? You a woman? Enter Kaya. You a woman? No, that the older for and her. Are you? You're the one? Okay, let your man come for you. Yeah. Enter come. What are you? Who are you talking to?
I want to speak to Honorable Cole. A question.
Come closer.
I said I want want to speak to Honorable Cole.
Marvin, you are the man. They want to talk to you. Yes, Marvin, take the mic.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. My name is Naomi Quita Davis.
Okay, Quita.
Okay. Honorable Cole, I remember during 2017 presidential and general election campaign, you spoke to the citizens of District 3 in Gbarnga, especially the motorcyclists, that many of them die when they have accident, and the nurses don't pay attention to them. And you said you were going to build them a hospital, not clinic. When you are elected as representative, how far has this project gone? I rest my question.
Hello,
Marvin Cole.
Please listen.
At this time, I can cut it off anytime. Cut the debate finish.
I hope we're not going to have a situation that one question will be repeated.
Yeah, exactly.
I said to you, I made commitment to the motorcyclists. Thank you for asking that question. I got 50 of them currently in BCTC that I pay $5,500 US dollar for them to be in school. We are 6 months in the government. They can hold my word that I will do what I said, and I'm going to build that facility. Thank you.
Thank you. We got to go here. These noisy guys. That's you. You're very noisy. You're supposed to be a lawyer. Don't do that. Hurry up, Mr. Noisy Man. I'm ready for you.
Hello. My name is Ronald Charles Weeks. You can call me Chucky. And my question goes to our doc.
Professor Tokpa?
Yeah, Dr. Flomo Tokpa.
We asking the woman coming. Thank you.
Well, Doc, I'm opportune today to stand in front of an honorable man like you to ask my question. Being an ex-president of my alma mater, which is Cottington, during your deliberation, Doc, you climatically outlined your degree and experience. You started by saying you have 1 BA, 2 masters,
and then what?
And 1 doctorate degree. And you also said that if elected as senator, you are going to advise our president on matters concerning the economy. We agree to that. But during the 2017 elections, you and 19 senators, along with 32 lawmakers from the lower house, engaged us and told us that the present president was not qualified for the position due to his educational background. So how can you go and advise him?
That answer the mayor. I think a simple answer. That go ahead,
Apparently, for me,
you are not listening, and this debate is really finished. We're just helping you now. So you keep making noise, we just easily cut it off. That's all we do. That answer.
Okay. Apparently, you are so uninformed, just the same way I told Honorable Marvin Cole. Because the point of argument, he did not answer the question or the process or the auditing leading to persecution. Now, to your question, I was a member of the United Party, and as such, I supported my candidate. I then had the option of being in a different party to endorse President Weah candidacy. I belong to the Unity Party, and it was my obligation to support my standard bearer. So I don't know what's the argument.
Thank you, Doc.
Now that elections is over, he is the president for all. And we all should make ourselves available to ensure that this country is developed under his leadership, to strengthen him and help him.
Yeah, the tall man back there, way there. Yes. That's the number 4. The 4th person. No, not you. There's a tall man there. I didn't call you. There's a tall man there. The man with the white shirt. Don't steal the man's blessing. The man with the white shirt is his time. Thank you. Don't steal his blessing. My man, waiting for you, man.
I want to speak to. I want to speak to Honorable Cole.
Who?
Honorable Cole.
Marvin Cole, but how you looking vexed? What happened?
I'm not vexed.
Don't get vexed. Marvin Cole?
Yes, don't be vexed.
In his speech, he talked about the management of government materials. Bon Kante bought a caliper to help.
Use the mic.
Bon Kante bought a caliper to help to grade the road around here. The caliper break down and he parking to his farm. What he doing to fix the caliper?
Good.
I do not operate the caterpillar he talking about. In fact, in this country, in this county, I told them it was outdated and did not have use. My father passed as a legislator where all of the state people going to visit and attend the burial ceremony. We asked the county, they sent out the machine got through working, and then the guy told me tomorrow morning we're leaving. The next morning he told me water entered the machine so it could not start. We should pay $20 US. I paid the $20. The next day he came by, he said he needed $500 to buy another thing to put it there. We pay it. Now he came by the third time and said we need $200 US to $150 US to repair the machine. Honorable Junior Aberhill went in his office because he wanted to use the machine. He paid the $150 just for the operator to tell us we need $1,000 to fix the machine. We thought it was a plain thing, and now a rich man on the way to drag that machine and bring it and pack it to the other player, pack the other one. I am not responsible for damaging the machine.
All right. One more guy. Go fast. Who your question for? Huh? One. Only one.
Okay. Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
You can hear the woman? You are noisy, people. After this woman, we are shutting down. Thank you.
My name is Abigail T. Bame, and my question goes to Honorable Cole.
Marvin Cole. Yes, Marvin.
Honorable Cole,
Can you hear the woman? Okay.
You as a representative for the CDC and the government for Liberia now.
Talk loud.
You as a representative for CDC now, you are representing Bon County on the legislature. My question comes to you that we are in a propo and the government of Liberia has gone against us constitutionally. What is your role if you are elected and then become senator of this county and then you create another by-election? Do you think you are not creating another problem or economic problem for our nation?
Okay. Don't say anything until they finish. Police. Let the man go behind. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, my dear sister. We are now creating economic burden. Let me say this to you. When Ambassador Weah was elected, he said to you, we inherited broke and shamble economy, broke government. He did not tell you that the government I am about to lead does not have the capacity to raise the funding you need. That's why Ambassador Weah and us have raised $1 billion in 6 months' time to connect all of the roads in Liberia. When I am elected as senator, 250,000 will not be an issue for a by-election. A by-election was not created. Dr. Aaron Topa, Honorable Fernand Bly, was not going to be in the hall today to contest for this seat. So it's not going to be economic burden. That is not going to happen. We will raise the money, and to represent people in the house, money cannot be the issue. It is my constitutional right. It is our constitutional right to contest.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Duca de Benz is closing now. We want to thank you for coming to this debate. And because you are so noisy, we have to go. But thank you so much that you spend the time with us. And let's now rise to accept the departure 1-1. Stay right there. Let's see the departure of our candidates. Open the corridor. Thank you. Today, Duca de Benz has come to a close. May we see the departure of Fernand Bly. Fernand, may you leave the hall. Police, Fernand Bly leaves the hall.
You are great, yes, you are holy one. Walked upon the sea.
Thank you.